So we're here for the 4th round of the Formula 1 2012 Championship season, and I'm Psycho Enigma, new driver at Toro Rosso. We again had a very poor qualifying session. If we look at the standings, we're down in 18th. Someone had to go down with all the lower teams, and unfortunately it was me. Ricardo, after getting 4th in the first session, only qualified 15th. So that gives me a bit of hope, and we got Schumacher in 17th, so he was quite low. Yeah, there are a couple of things. You know, we were very quick in the first sector, which is pretty much straight lines, and we lose a lot of speed in sector 2 where all the corners come with our low downforce. You know, the oversteer at the back end, which I prefer in my setup. And then sector 3 we were losing even more, which is just effectively 2 straight lines with 1 corner. I don't get it. But the gear ratios are much more suited for the race. I need a higher top end 7th gear because we hit the limit at 190 miles an hour, which is just too slow. Race strategy for this race is simple. Options. Get them to last longer. Get to lap 8, hopefully. You know, cautious. If I'm in a good position and the other cars start peeling off, by all means I'll be inclined to do so as well, because I need to keep track position if I'm in a good spot. I tried something different with the setup this time. Like I actually did tyre cambers and whatnot, and the car feels really strange in a straight line. Like actually pulling to one side. It's weird, but I'm sure I'll be able to deal with it. But anyway, we're going to hopefully turn position 18 in qualifying to about position 8 or 9 in the race. Get a few more hauls of points. I'm going to try and get as many points as I can to get some teams to notice us, and I'm going to go to the end of the season with Toro Rosso and see who offers us a contract. You know, I'm not hoping too high up the grid, but it'd be nice to get a decent contract. 3 lights, 5 lights. Ridge mix curves and go, go, go. Senna comes across. He's well aware of what we have planned. We're going to look to go down the inside. It's a tight first corner here at the Sakir circuit. We're inside Paul de Resta. There's contact in the first corner. And we got Ricardo, Rosberg. They're all up to, you know, join the party. And now we're going to look, because there's more positions to be made up in the. I don't know if this is the 3rd or the 2nd corner. But we're down the inside of Lewis Hamilton. The back end steps out as we try to pass. And we're up into 7th place again with fantastic starts. We're behind the 2 Ferraris and ahead of Mark Webber. So we've got into a good position. Massa, let's have a little look down the inside. Nothing really to be gained there. You know, only a broken front wing and probably a drive-through penalty. So we're going to head round these corners, and now you're going to watch the front cars probably look to pull away from us, which is expected. I like to lengthen some of my gear ratios to get some good acceleration in. It would appear that Williams and Maldonado that got all the way up there with his driving talent. You know, Maldonado's a good driver, but now he's going to hold the Ferraris up, which could be a good thing for us. You know, we'll see if we can actually manage to get a pass in. That's not on the first lap, but we got someone being Mark Webber having a little look at our inside. I'm not too keen on that at all. We need to get the pedal down. Look at this. This is Alonso pulling over. Massa using the slipstream of Maldonado, punching massive hole in the air. The slipstream's going to assist us. We're moving down the inside. Can we get both Ferraris in the first corner? Can we? We can. We're up into 5th. And here's Pastor Maldonado. Is he open to be overtaken as well? The Toro Rosso behind the Williams pulls out, moving to the outside line. Maldonado looks to defend, and he's got no answer. We're up into 4th place. That was just, couldn't have worked out any better for us whatsoever. The Maldonado keeping, like Alonso was busy trying to pass Maldonado. Massa kept in Maldonado's slipstream. They all kept fairly close to each other, and in the end, the Toro Rosso that you would not expect to be in the mix came out the big winner. But Maldonado is going to look to be all over our gearbox, and this is where we need to set the pace in. Like, don't get too cocky. Don't make mistakes. Because we're known to make mistakes. And that's not what we need to do. We need to keep going. We need to keep this position. You know, if we lose a couple, it's fine. Because we have got Pastor Maldonado, who is known to not take any prisoners when it comes to overtaking. An angry Spaniard and an underperforming Brazilian behind us, all looking to get past someone they did not expect to see in front of them after the qualifying results.
DRS will be enabled.
So now it gets interesting. Lap 3 is always the lap where everything starts to get interesting because of DRS. And up the front here we've got a 3-man battle. There's no way we're going to get involved with. It's Vettel, Grosjean and Button for the podium positions. After that, who's going to come in fourth? Who's going to be best of the rest? It might be us, might not be us. We shall have to see. And Ricciardo looks to have made up a few places as well. He looks like he's on the tail end of the points there. It'd be good to get both Toro Rossos in the points. With me, of course, in front because I deserve them more after this start. It's, you know, it's been a good opening 2 laps. So we just need to keep this under control, especially here. This is the corner I was referring to where we always lose time. We need to keep it under control there, not let the back end let go, and hopefully there'll be no one there to capitalise, because normally I wear my tyres evenly, but on this track with this setup I just eat through my rear tyres, and we have gone wide. And this is the point where I was referring to with the whole track position situation. We've got track position now over some really quick guys. You know, we're really high up in the points. We can't afford to throw this away now. So, when it comes to pitting, I may have to peel in with the other guys just to get some new boots on. I just had to double check that I was actually recording my mic, because I've been known not to. And Massa with the fastest lap, and he's sitting pretty behind us. Well, he's sitting pretty behind Maldonado. I'm not sure about... Is he behind? I can't tell from this angle if he's behind Alonso or not. What's our fuel looking like? We've got 3 laps. We may need those later. I'm going to put it into standard mix for now, just because we may need that fuel later on in the race. We don't know how crucial that's going to be. We need to still play it safe. We can't go for glory when glory is not always there. It's, you know, what position you're on the last lap that counts, not on the 4th. Even though being up in 4th place on the 4th lap is looking pretty good, and car very twitchy under braking. This is... I'm not going to say it's taking skill to control it, because I'm, you know, I don't think I'm amazing at this game by any sort of means, but very twitchy, you know, it's knowing where to brake, where to lift, kind of thing. But we're 2/10 up on our best lap time so far. And the leaders aren't pulling away from us as fast as I expected. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a good distance ahead, but we're a Toro Rosso. We're a midfield to, like, back-end team. Going to use all our remaining curves out of the final corner. Hopefully Maldonado's DRS will not have the impact that he hopes it to have. And we're consistent on our lap times. And Pastor Maldonado, he's down there outside. Who's the last of the late breakers? Maldonado's still on our outside. One of the Ferraris might be able to take advantage, and it's Fernando Alonso. And I think Maldonado may lose out in this next corner to Felipe Massa. And I do believe it said there Alonso has minor front wing damage. Yes, he does. Look, just there. You can see it. The end plate and one of the aero bits. Probably when Maldonado came across to try and defend his position, which wouldn't surprise me. You know, I was not going to give in to that position by any means. Oh, we've gone in deep. We've gone in deep. That could allow Fernando to get past us. But we're on the curves. I was going to say the DRS. I wish we were on the DRS. I feel like I'm taking this overly cautiously compared to my all-in style, but we've got one of the best starts of the season. We haven't got a penalty as well. So, this is our best start since Malaysia, but we got a penalty there. Excuse me. So we need to maintain this as long as possible. I get the feeling these guys are going to come in sort of lap 6 or lap 7 maybe. And Alonso's all over the rear of this Toro Rosso. He's coming across, he's coming through. Nothing I can do about that. Except maybe get a bit of slipstream and come back at him on the brakes. See, that's one thing I like about DRS. You can get racing like that, where if they don't get past them, Maldonado really giving it a go back there. I want to watch that race. But that's the good thing about DRS. If they don't get past you till right at the very end, you can tuck in for some slipstream and try to come back at them like I just did. And I think, you know, Alonso kept his position against Maldonado. Not 100% sure. Yes, by the look of it, he has done. And Massa's got through as well. So I now have two big red prancing horses coming up behind me. And what was that qualifying lap time? I think they were like 137s, I think. So we're in still sort of the same sort of range as qualifying pace, albeit we're on option tyres now. And what's our fuel looking? We're down to +2 laps. And Ricciardo's doing well, so I might have to stick it out just to see, just not to mess up with his strategy, because whatever strategy you set, they of course change the AI strategy to match, so you never pit at the same time. Oh, Calf, not feeling quick at all there, but Alonso slid as well. I think we may have avoided DRS this lap.
There are quite a few.
Oh no, they're all peeling in. Everyone's peeling in. We have the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And we have a Massa and Webber behind us. I don't know if Ricciardo went in. I want to assume that he did, and if he did,
Prime tyres confirmed for
then I need to go in this lap. This is where it all gets interesting with pit strategy. And Ricciardo's not that close behind us, so he must have gone in. And we've set our fastest first sector of the race so far on these options.
We need to keep it clean so he doesn't get a chance to overtake.
What are our tyres looking like? They're not looking brilliant, it has to be said. Here I have to be oh so careful. And I'm having the debate with myself to go one more lap, like I did in Brazil. Not Brazil. I just watched someone do a Brazilian Grand Prix, and that's why I've got it on my mind, probably. Just like in Malaysia, where we could have come out 10th ahead of Ricciardo. But I don't want to take the risk. Massa gained a lot on us in that middle sector. Oh, I don't want to take the risk. I want my tyres. I'm changing this lap. I'm bottling it. Yeah, look, the car's not 100% going into that final corner. We need fresh rubber, and we need it now. Steaming into the pits. And the Red Bull and the Ferrari coming in as well. That's another thing. You don't want to lose out on position to those guys either. We need Toro Rosso to get a really good stop in here. Come on, no sticky tyres, no sticky anything. Come on. 4.2. We're still ahead of those guys. There goes Grosjean. There goes Vettel.
Be careful not to drive over the white line when coming out of the pit.
Here comes Button. Have we jumped Jenson Button? We've jumped Jenson Button in the pit stops. I apologise for my coughing, but in the excitement, we have jumped Jenson Button. And there has to be someone back there that hasn't pitted. And if they haven't, we could be in podium position territory. We just need to hold off I was going to say the Flying Brit, even though it's the Flying Scot, but that's Paul di Resta. Yeah, it looks as if someone out there, because I think that's Grosjean in second, Vettel in third. Button must have lost out somewhere. Oh, and Button coming in hot. He's lost his front wing.
We've heard on the radio that the car behind has handling issues. He's damaged his front wing.
I don't think we cut across him. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm glad he has lost his front wing and lost time, because that there was a poor mistake. I'm not too sure what happened back there. I don't want to think I turned in on him, because I don't think he was that... I didn't assume he was that close. But Button's now out of contention by the looks of things.
Times are looking good. You're matching race pace.
I wish I really was matching race pace, but we have got Webber that's going to close down on us. It was Raikkonen. Raikkonen hadn't pitted. So, with that, Kimi Raikkonen has gone into pits.
Just posted the fastest
And we're up into a podium position. Can you believe it? And we have just got to focus everything on the rest of this race now. Can we get the Toro Rosso from 18th on the grid into a podium on a track that I absolutely despise and that I feel as if I can't race on? 6.9 ahead to Vettel. 3 seconds back to Webber. We're a Toro Rosso and a Red Bull sandwich. I think at the end of this lap I might go into the rich mix. Just to gain a bit of extra speed in the straights, because we're going to need it. I don't think Webber will close us down that much. But I don't want to say that, and in the dying moments, him really close down. His laps are... his laps? I'm tripping over all my words. His tyres are just as old as ours. They're not any newer, they're not any older. You know, we pitted on the same lap and we have lost a lot of time in the middle sector. An absolute bucket load of time. So that's where we're going to get past, if anywhere, or into turn 1. But we are very quick in the first sector. And as soon as we cross the start and finish line, we're going into the rich mix. I'm going to look to try and dip into 136s to try and defend. You know, keep the speed, keep the position. I don't want any... Well, I don't want as much pressure on me as those 4 cars. Like 4 cars behind us closing in. This Ferrari engine Toro Rosso. To my memory, it used to be Minardi. Can we do it? There's 5 laps left, including the one we're on, and we've set our fastest first sector of the race so far. There's Vettel and Grosjean for the win, but who's going to come third? Webber's closing in quickly. And I have to take that corner so slowly. And I think that's where I'm going to save all my curves for. In the DRS zone, I just need to save my curves right out of that corner. Or if I make a mistake going into there, I can save them to accelerate out of there. And leave a little bit for the DRS zone, because Webber is going to come steaming past us. He's probably going to try and come steaming past us right now, to be totally fair with him. He's looking quick. Webber's looking racy. We've gone a little bit wider than I would have liked. I need the arrow to disappear to give me some hope. Webber is right on our gearbox. He's going to look to come across to the right. We close the door. And I think we're maxed out as he is. And that's the point where it gets interesting. Going into turn 1 and oh, the back end oh so nearly coming out on me. Webber's coming across. We're going to look to close the door. Don't mess it up. Hug the inside. Try not to put the power down too much. We've lost a lot of time in that sector. Okay, things are starting to get interesting. I need to start pushing harder into this corner. I think I'm definitely going to have to grab a drink of water after this because my chest is starting to hurt because of that coughing. And my apologies for ruining the commentary for you. Oh, we've gone in deep. We've gone in deep. Luckily, we're still partially on the racing line and Webber could not take advantage. We're a second down on what we'd set for the previous lap. Vettel and Grosjean are off in the distance. And we got one lap of rich mix. Standard it is for a little while. We need to manage this. We're going to need to protect this down to the very last lap. And Webber's not as close as he was last lap. I don't think the DRS is going to play such a major factor. Here comes Webber. Give him the room, just in case I don't want to do anything stupid. And we have a small queue forming behind us. One of those that's probably catching up to the back of that queue is Kimi Räikkönen, who's 2.3 seconds a lap faster than our Toro Rosso. We took that corner quite tight. We hit a bump. Luckily managed to keep it under control. I will quite happily give up lap time to keep this position, and now we're really forming a queue behind us. We cannot make a mistake here. A single mistake could cost us the entire Grand Prix, and Räikkönen is now in that queue. I don't want to ride the curbs too much. I don't want to risk the back end coming out. This could be a great win. I keep saying a win, and like I know it's not a win, but for Toro Rosso, for a team like this on this difficulty, third position is amazing. You know, that's like a win to them. It's like the World Championship. Full curves on the final corner coming onto the pit straight. Make sure Webber's as far behind us as he can be. He's 3/10. Pastor Maldonado's got past Mark Webber. They're going to go out into turn 1. I don't think anyone's going to try a silly move on us. If Maldonado could get ahead, that could mean Webber could be held up, and they've lost ground on us. Maldonado's through into 4th. What happened to the 2 Ferraris? Because they were ahead of Maldonado. Only 23 cars running in the race as well. We'll see what happens at the end with the actual result and see what it does to the championship. Okay, right. We're going to go rich mix from here to the end, unless the fuel runs out. If we go into optimal, at that point we're going to have to go back into standard, which I really don't want to do. I want to defend this. I'm going to keep it there. I don't want to look at it. I need to keep focus. I'm sure you guys want to see me get this podium. After the first 2 races of the season, this is an epic bounce back. You know, this is going to go down as a good drive, in my opinion. Full curves. Get out of that DRS. Come on. We don't want them any closer to us than what we absolutely need be. Grosjean's still in the lead as we head into the final lap. Braking for turn 1. We're going to count down the corners. I don't know how many there are though on this track. And Webber's got through back past Maldonado. That's going to give us some breathing space for this lap. And we're on optimal. We're going to need to go back to standard mix. Will that matter? Who knows? Maldonado's retained his position though. Him and Webber must have really been going at it. We've almost gained 2 seconds on him in the first sector. That's given us, possibly, has that given us the breathing space we need to get round?
We have a problem with DRS. You won't be able to activate it.
Oh, there's a problem with DRS. I've not had it this entire race, so I don't see it as a major issue. If he had said KERS though, we might be done for. We might get pipped to the line. But I think we've done this. I think we may have got 3rd place in Bahrain. Grosjean's probably going to take the win. But considering how far the AI are ahead of me compared to the first race, I think we're going to come on leaps and bounds. Romain Grosjean takes the checkered flag to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. Something he probably could have done in the actual season of 2012. And with Rich Mix, full curves off the final corner. And the Toro Rosso takes 3rd place. Takes the final step on the podium. Daniel Ricciardo down in 14th. But we've done it. We crept across the line with just enough fuel to take 3rd from 18th on the grid. Past the Maldonado in 4th. Raikkonen coming from 13th to 5th. And we're Button down in 17th after losing his nose after trying to take us. Di Resta down to 18th and the non-finisher Pedro Della Rosa. But we've gained 15 points from this. And like that brings our total up to, I think it's 21 points we now have, or 19. No, it's 21 points we have now in the championship. And that puts us in 9th position. We're ahead of Raikkonen. And look at the company we're in, right? We're ahead of Raikkonen by 1 point. Massa's 3 points behind. We're 1 point behind Maldonado, 2 behind Perez, 3 behind Jenson Button, and 4 points behind Fernando Alonso. We are up there with some of the driving elite. The Red Bulls running away with the championship. Can Lewis Hamilton stop them? Daniel Ricciardo down on a single point, down in 17th place. And this was just an amazing weekend. We head off now to Spain in a week's time. Hopefully we'll gain a few more points there. I doubt it. Spain is one of my more liked tracks, but it's ironically one of the ones I can't do well on. But thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this Grand Prix to see the bounce back of Psycho Enigma and his Toro Rosso. We're gonna continue this through the season. I hope to pick up a nice hatful of points. So I'll see you in a week in Spain.